Hi guys! I wanted to share my story of quitting my 9 to 5 job with you guys because I know it was a really hard transition for me. And I watched a lot of videos on it. I read a lot of blogs before I did it. And hopefully I can help somebody make that decision if that's what they want to. I was working a standard 9 to 5 job at an office in downtown LA for about a year and a half. And it was my first full-time position. You know, it was my first big girl job, and it was great at first. I got paid pretty well. It was a very cool company to work for, and I got benefits and all of that. So, in a lot of people's eyes, and especially my parents, I was pretty successful. But a few months into the job, I really started feeling the whole rat race type of feeling. The job was not hard at all, but it was really, really boring. And I was in a cubicle, and I worked at a computer all day long. So from 8:30 to 5, I was sitting at a computer just sending emails. I was doing different marketing things. So a lot of my work was on a computer. And I know that it works for some people, and some people have to work that type of hours if they have families to provide for, and all of that. But that was not the case with me, so I feel very lucky that I was able to make a decision. I had the opportunity to make that decision that I don't want to work a 9 to 5 job. But while I was working, there were many days that it was just really, really hard to get out of bed. I don't think there was a very handful of days that I actually looked forward to going to work. And besides going to work itself, just the routine of waking up every single day at the same exact time, doing the same thing every day for 5 days straight, it made you feel like a robot, and I absolutely hated it. I couldn't tell what day was what sometimes, because the last day looked just like today, and tomorrow will be the same. So it was really, really hard for me. Also, I suffered through a lot of different mental health issues while I was working 9 to 5. I had some really bad depression. There was 1 week around March, I think, that I just couldn't get out of bed. I had to call in sick for 3 days straight. And then finally, on the third day, I just talked to my boss and I said, I'm just taking the rest of this week off because there's no way I can come in. Like, I could not get out of bed. And it was really awful. I've never ever had a feeling like that before. And even being at work, I was just so anxious all the time. I had severe anxiety. My chest would be hurting so bad where I would have to drink water to try to keep it cool and calm, but that really didn't help. And the anxiety would just go, through the week into the weekend, and Sunday around 6 o'clock it comes right back. So it was just something I was like, okay, well, I guess this is life now, and I just was living through it, and it was just really bad. I ended up having to take medication for it, and that really did help a lot. But I think it was just a small remedy to what the actual problem was. And I think just the attitudes of most people working in office jobs, a lot of people don't want to be there, but they have no choice. So there's just a lot of negative energy that comes with it, and I definitely fell for that. A lot of people just come in and they just sit down and let out a big sigh, like I'm here in my prison, and just looking forward to the weekend, just worshiping Fridays. I hated that. I didn't want to live for the weekend. So I knew I wanted to stay for at least a year so it doesn't look so bad on my resume. But when I made the decision to leave, I did not have another job lined up. And a lot of people thought that was pretty crazy, and I admit that is pretty crazy. I don't recommend it. But sometimes you just have to go. And I'm a person who believes that if you make room for things that you want, they'll come your way somehow or another. And it's been 2 months since I quit, and so far, well, I did find another job. I'm working promotions for a radio station out here in LA. I absolutely love the job. I mean, it is an entry-level job and I'm not getting paid that much, but my current living situation, my rent is really cheap, so I'm able to do this job, one job for right now, and apart from that, I'm just using savings for now. It's been 2 months, so I've been looking, but also not looking too hard because I don't want to fall into another job that I don't like. So what I did was I saved up all my vacation days to when I got them, so that by the time I quit, I got paid out for my vacation days. So I had about 10 days that I got paid for. So I got a nice little nest egg before I left. And that's been really helpful. Really just been living off of that for the most part right now. And that was about $2,500, which is not a lot, but it is enough for me right now. I will link a bunch of stuff that I looked at before I made the decision. One thing that helped me get through my day-to-day grind was there's this. I watched a couple YouTube videos on Oprah Super Soul Sunday. That was such an amazing thing to watch, just to get through the days. And I hated that you had to get through the days. Like, life, this cannot be life. Like, I refuse to believe that's how we're supposed to live our lives until we retire. That just does not seem like a good trade-off to me. But Super Soul Sundays really helped me to see that you can live the life you want. You don't have to live by these standards and these kind of systems that have been created for us. You can make it work if that's what you really want. So I was just Googling almost every night, should I quit my 9 to 5? Am I going to be okay? And all of this. And pretty much one of the things said, if you don't want to work 9 to 5, then don't. Just don't do it. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't work at all. I mean, everybody's got to live. But just find a way to make it work for you. Well, that's a little bit about my journey. I'll keep you guys updated with how things go. I'm really hoping I don't have to end up moving back home to my parents. That's, last resort. I don't want to do that. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks for listening, and let me know if you have any questions or if you want to leave a comment. Thank you. Bye.